Good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce you to two people you all already know, I'm sure. Joe and Helen are nice enough to come tell us about their RV adventures. And I've been following their blog for years. And I feel like I've been coast to coast with you all. And if you haven't been on their blog, I recommend that you follow what they do. So, welcome. And also, I guess you're going to tell everybody, but you have Dora here.
Yeah.
So, if anybody wants to tour Dora.
Won't take long. Okay, well, thank y'all very much for having us. For those of you that I've not had a chance to meet, I am Joe Bruner. I'm here with my wife, Helen. Louder?
Yes.
How's it? Much better? We've been members here for going close to 40 years, and we love our church. We love the people and love being a part of it. So we're here today, though, to talk to something about a lifestyle that we've just become very passionate about. And I want to take you through how we got into it, kind of how we've evolved through it, and show you a little bit about some of the places that we visited, what we call the road less traveled. As a warning, I have put a lot of people to sleep with these slides, so if you nod off, I won't be offended. It happens quite often. So, without further ado, we'll just get started. I'll tell you a quick story about how we got into it. I spent 24 years in the Army Reserve, and when I retired from there, I began getting some magazines that highlighted and pointed out recreational opportunities for military retirees and active duty soldiers. And I would see these lovely campgrounds in places like Cumberland Island, Georgia, and Buzzards Bay on Cape Cod, San Diego. And I said, we need to do this. And my lovely wife, Helen, kept giving me pushback. She said, no, we're not ready for that. So she was talking to a friend of hers one day, Tim Wright, somebody may know Tim, and he's a big RV person, but he rents them all. And so he told Helen, he said, don't buy one, just rent one. Let's just see if it's kind of fits your lifestyle. And so we did. I got on the website. Tim said he rented all his from Cruise America, so I got on the website for Cruise America. And those things are kind of pricey to rent. A trailer like that was like $75 a day, plus mileage, plus fuel. And that's a little pricey if you want to take a long trip. But a 3-day weekend or something like that might be okay. But, So I was about ready to give that up. And I got to looking at I read on the webpage, and it had today's hot deal. And today's hot deal was if you come to Chicago and pick up a brand new motorhome and deliver it to a dealer in Los Angeles, it was like $19 a day. They gave you 3 weeks to get there, no charge for mileage, and $250 they gave you for gas. So Helen comes home from one of her Saving the World projects, and I look at her, and I looked at it, checked it up, and the delivery point was like 20 miles from our son's house in California. So when she comes home and I say, honey, you're not going to want to do this, but I'm going to. And when I told her that we were going to be 20 miles from her grandchildren, you would have thought it was her idea. She bouncing around, and so I did. I rented a one-way rental car to Chicago. I picked up this RV, brought it back to Knoxville. Helen went to Habitat store, Carm, or whatever, and picked up a coffee pot, and a few pots and pans, and some stuff to toaster oven to take with us because we were going to leave the trailer in California. And we take off. We named the trailer Sherman. I name all of our vehicles because I want somebody to cuss if things don't go well. So this was Sherman. And that picture was taken in Montgomery, Alabama. We went south and went across the country. And I grabbed my camera, something you shouldn't do, and took a selfie of us. And I'm driving, and Helen's back there on the little dinette, working her puzzle, reading the paper. But when I look at that picture, the one thing that I notice is just the complete joy of being out doing something we've never done before, in our late places we've never been, and it was just the freedom of being on the open road. And eventually, we wound up in, well, Joe. There we go. Get these slides. One thing y'all forced me to do is learn PowerPoint.
Well, we've seen the best one, don't you think?
I can show you the rest of them. I'll put a lot of work into it.
Oh, please, y'all, right, this has got to work.
There we
He worked so hard.
There we go. We stopped in San Angelo, Texas. Went on to White Sands, New Mexico. Spent a couple of days in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. And finally wound up, we did go to Vegas. And we called, on the way there, I had Helen call the hotel. We're members of the Harris Club. And asked them if they had any room deals, because we were looking, you have to sleep in this thing, in this little overhang over the cab of the truck. And Helen was sleeping on the dining. So we looked for a couple of days in a hotel, and Harris comped our rooms for 2 nights. And so we parked Sherman out in the parking lot. We finally ended up, we met our family in Point Mugu, California, which is about 20 miles north of Malibu. It was just a great time. By then we were hooked, but this is what we enjoyed doing, except for my wife. So now what? And I had found a little trailer that I wanted to buy, and kind of hemming and hawing. And then within about a week after I found the trailer, Helen had 2 friends that passed away within a week of each other. So she comes in and she says, just go buy the darn thing. What are you waiting on? And she was so right. You know, you're only young. So I bought this little Coleman trailer. And it worked fine. It was 18 feet long, had a nice bed. Helen's, there's the floor plan for it. It had a shower, queen bed, a little kitchen, and a dinette. Helen's nesting instincts took over. She decorated it real cute. You can see you're sitting there, and the bed's about an arm's length away.
Wait, I gotta add one more thing. In the bathroom, when you're going to the bathroom, your knees are hanging out the door. It was small.
And so you can see our little trailer. And it worked. It was great outside. You had to pretty much be outside. And we were in Curry Beach, North Carolina on this first trip we took Bertha. And you can see Helen sitting there with a fan running on her. And it just couldn't be inside. So we went on and finished that trip. We went to Asheville, watched the eclipse. Harris Island, South Carolina. Again, being retired from the military, we have the option we can stay on military bases. And then we went to Tybee Island, Georgia, where a hurricane ran us out there. So we came home and decided we needed a bigger trailer. So this is Gracie. And Gracie was nice. It had, it was about 26 feet long, had a big queen bed, had a slide where you had a little more room, and a kitchen in the back. And you can see there's the slide room where it pulls back straight into the bedroom. It had a nice television, a little dinette. We bought this trailer at an RV show. We were just going to go up there and see what was available, new stuff, decorate that little trailer we had. And we lost our bride. There's the dinette. The kitchen is in the rear, worked out really well right by the door. We took that trailer to Florida. We went to Jekyll Island in the winter, and we had great weather for being winter. And then we took another trip up the Blue Ridge Parkway. That's the Shenandoah Valley there. And we went to a place I'd never heard of and fell in love with it, called Solomon Island, Maryland. It's right on there, on the eastern coast there. Great seafood. And we took it also down to St. George in Florida when there was no one there. So then we decided we'd do another trailer. And we bought Lucy, which is a fifth wheel. And the advantages of a fifth wheel is they're more stable. You know, you connect them in the bed of the truck. You don't have the sway that you do with a tag-along or a trailer in the back. And they're easier to hook up. You just back up and hit that key in and you're in. And push a button and all the wheels, all the stabilizers come up. When you're done, you take it somewhere, you unhook, you push another button, the stabilizers come down and you level the trailer. Makes it real simple. I don't think I'd ever go back. It was really laid out well. Big key bed, had a beautiful pantry, had a almost residential refrigerator, had a fireplace in it.
How long was it then?
This one's 32 feet.
So what was Gracie?
Gracie was 26, and this was 32. We took it on a little shakedown trip over to Cherokee, and those are some of the pictures from the first trip that we took with it. There's the refrigerator, a nice oven, island kitchen, bedroom. We're still using the same bedspread. Then we went west. We went to, about 3 weeks after we got it, we went out west. We got to just outside of Phoenix in Apache Junction, Arizona. We pulled into the campground. I don't know if you can see it on here or not, but there's some little bits of tape right here. Well, the guy in the parking lot was directing me over to one side. I wasn't paying any attention. And a tree limb just went right down the top of my brand new trailer. And even the limb was sticking in the top of it. So I went into the office there at the campground and asked them if they had a saw so I could cut that limb. And the lady looked at me and said, "We don't cut trees out here." Well, I guess I could stay till it rots. And she physically came back and sawed it off. And I went to someplace and bought tape and put it all over the thing. And then we made it work fine, got it fixed when we came back home. But that's a beautiful place. It's Lost Dutchman State Park right outside of Phoenix. And those are the Superstition Mountains there that kind of hover over that whole campground. We took it to Lake Havasu, Arizona. Went to Coronado. This is probably, at least if not my favorite campground, it's close. You're right in Coronado Bay, down in San Diego, within a walking distance of the famous Coronado Hotel. And that's the view out the back of our trailer. We went to Zion, Arches, Canyonlands, which is probably my favorite. You can see this little trail right there. You walk along this trail about 4 feet away from sudden death. But you do that for a couple miles. And when you get out of there, you've got another view that's just at the end of that trail that just takes in the whole canyon there. It's pretty special. Sedona, we went to Sedona, hiked through the Red Rocks, and then I'm going to tell you, before we went out west again, Helen had knee surgery, and she was coming out of knee surgery loopy as a bed bug. And I said, and I was listening to the radio, and the sports station here said, come by a place down on Sutherland Avenue and register to win a trailer. And our son, Justin, he lives out in California, and bless his heart, he has a group that he camps with all the time. And they all have elaborate camp gear and big trailers and cooking equipment. And my son and his family's in a tent, and Justin's squirting easy cheese on a cracker. So I said, hell, let's go win this trailer for Justin. And okay. So I put my name in the hat there at that business, and on the way home, they called out my name on the radio, said this hour's qualifier is Joe Bruner. I said, that's great. And so I just forgot about it. And then about 6 weeks later, I get a call from 99.1 people, and they say, come by Buddy Gregg's this Saturday. We're going to have a reverse drawing for this trailer. And I said, well, how many people are in the drawing? They said 165. So I go, before I do a little premonition, I threw my trailer hitch into the back of my truck. So there they are, there's people registered. That's the trailer that you're there to win. It was wrapped in a Neyland Stadium under lights with the band playing. But it's a really nice trailer. Well, there's the people that are putting their registration slip into the hopper for the drawing. And there's Jeff Jarnigan calling out the people who didn't win. It was a reverse deal. Well, they got down to 100, and then 50, and then 30, and then 10. And then it got down to me and Virgil. This is Virgil, and here I am. And I was sitting there, no way. Well, the next thing they did was they called me. I was the winner. We won this trailer. About 20 grand worth of trailer plus about $1,000 worth of gear, which was just great. Helen, I don't think she wiped that smile off her face.
You're still there.
She's still laughing. Then we got the paperwork done. They had a table in there that was another Neyland Stadium scene, and it had been signed by football players. So, they didn't follow me home. I put the trailer hitch to work. So we had another trailer, which I was going to give to our son in California, but before we did, he wanted a bunkhouse. It had 2 bunk beds, and this just had a queen bed. So, for the same money, I traded trailers with somebody at Buddy Gregg and got this little tag along, and my son from Charleston and his family came, and we were going to Jackson Hole. And so he took that trailer, and we brought Lucy on, and we toured a lot of the Midwest. We went to the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, great experience for the girls. And we camped in downtown Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Believe it or not, we called, you can't get a campsite there in the summer. But I called a friend of mine, Bill Baxter, and I asked him if he knew of any place out there, because he lives there most of the year. He called me back about an hour later and said, yeah, I've got this one place that said they might be able to fit you in. It was along the street, 1 block off the Strand, and Jackson Hole had full hookups right there. Wow. And so we camped right there. There's the little trailer. And Justin drove up from California and met us there and took the trailer back to California. That was a real experience.
Here we go again. There we go.
Technologically. Where's Cheryl Kershaw when I need her? There we go. It was the 4th of July weekend on top of all that. So we got to see the Tetons.
Did you Photoshop these pictures?
No.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I edited them a little bit in a little program on the computer. But no Photoshop. That's too much for that. There's Yellowstone, Mammoth Cascade. We went to Glacier. And the beauty of it, this was during COVID. And there was nobody in either one of those parks. I mean, no tour buses. We could park anywhere we wanted to. We'd hike the trails. We'd maybe see 2 people in a whole day. It was just wonderful. And went to Ennis. And now this is my favorite picture. This is everything that I can say about the RV lifestyle. We're on the Wind River in Du Bois, Wyoming. Parked right up to it. Helen's got her puzzle and sun setting. You don't get that in a hotel anywhere. I mean, that's what we do. Now, the one that we had, I'll tell you real quickly, we didn't realize it, but Helen decided the windows were on the wrong side. And so, when you're backed into a campground, you really are looking onto the door, the patio of the person next to you, where normally the windows are on the other side, where you look at the back of the campground. So we were in California, and she got somebody to show them their trailer, and so that's dope. We took it out a second year. It's 2021. Now, we've had this one for over 2 years now, and this is it. I promise. This one's 34 feet. 2 more feet. 2 feet long. And this is the one that's parked out back.
Did you already have a truck when you got the fifth wheelers?
I had a 250, and then when I bought that truck, I had to get a 350. And it doesn't even know that trailer's back.
Tell them the name of your truck.
Ruby. We went to Bryce Canyon that year, and we went to the east side of Glacier because we stayed on the west side the other time. And again, there was just nobody there. And Napa. Had a great time. 2-fisted at Mondawmin. I'm trying. Yeah, I'll get there in a second.
We'll have to clarify one thing, that as far as every time we traded, we should have started big to begin with, but who knew? And you kind of, as you live with it, you figure out what you want. And the bottom line is we're not going to be young. We don't know how much time we've got left to be able to do this. And so, sorry kids, you might not have any money. It's all said and done because we're going to go out and spend it. And so that's kind of, where we came from on that. But we're not trading you. Today. Doris good.
Okay. Now, I said Coronado is my favorite. This one happens to be my second favorite. It's right up in the far northwest corner of Washington State, Whidbey Island. This is the Navy campground in a place they refer to as Sunset Harbor. And the campground manager was a retired botanist, and he had planted flowers everywhere. It was just gorgeous. We're backed in, but our view, that's our view. And the sunset right in front of us every night. Just bald eagles everywhere. Gorgeous. This is some of the wildlife we've seen on our trips. We've got a gray wolf that we caught in Yellowstone eating a moose carcass. You probably can't see it, but a mountain goat on a ledge there in Glacier Park. These bighorns came right down to me in Glacier. Bison in Yellowstone, grizzly in Glacier, and these are the eagles in Whidbey Island. Okay, just kind of our approach to RV is that we have to plan a year out, basically, because it's gotten so popular, primarily from baby boomers approaching retirement age, and then COVID, and people not wanting to stay in hotels. You're self-contained, great family vacations. A lot of people homeschool in RVs now, just take their kids across the country, homeschool as they go. So if you're going to get a campground, a campsite, you have to start planning. And well in advance. We try to limit our driving to about 250 miles a day. That's a little over 4.5 hours. That's about all I can take. And you don't want to drive faster than 65 because the tires overheat. You have problems. And we don't want to overload the vehicle. That's why I had to move up in the truck. That truck will tow 19,000 pounds, and that trailer weighs about 12,000. Keep the trailer maintained. They're just like, it's just a rolling earthquake the whole time. And we came back from Texas this past winter where I hit a huge pothole and bent 2 axles. So we were sidelined for quite a while waiting on those axles to come in. And I guess in the future we might alter our program a little bit. We used to take off 3 days here and 4 days there, 3 days somewhere else. I think we're to the point now where we prefer just to go somewhere and stay 7 days or longer and explore the area. Probably have to take longer trips in terms of time, but we at least get to, enjoy the place where we are. And then our guideline for us is do it for as long as we can while we still can. You never know. Just when I do some trip planning, I do a spreadsheet of everywhere we're going with all the contact information, the distance that we try to travel, the rates for the campground, dates in, dates out, phone numbers, that. I give that to my 95-year-old mother who is every day right there. This is a little map we did for the last trip we did. I think we went this way. That's what happens when your tires are not good. We were in Florida coming back a couple of years ago and we had 2 blowouts an hour apart on President's Weekend. I tried to get that fixed.
Here's to AAA. They pulled us out.
We're on the interstate. AAA finally got to us about 11 o'clock at night. In 2 weeks, we're leaving to go to Edisto Beach. We've gotten to where we go down there for 2 weeks every year in November. And you're right on the beach. And this is Edisto Beach is just lovely that time of year. And it's an amateur photographer's dream. Everywhere you look, there's something to take a picture of. Staying on the way down, our son in Charleston put in a 50-amp plug. And he's got a hose connection right near the trailer. So we just back in there and have our own little mother-in-law suite. We don't have to get works out great. But there's Edisto at sunrise. Some of the over the dunes.
You know what you didn't put in is a church camp out. We're going to that on the 26th, but we've been
we
going.
are going to the church camp out before we leave
we go to
directly for
Edisto,
Edisto.
but we've done that for years. I mean, we're the only ones that, sometimes we're the only ones that got to eat. And they're coming in, well, get them inside and warm up the kids anyway.
I'd encourage anybody to go on the church camp out. It is a great way to meet the young people in our church and their kids. They're going to do a little shark skin run. They had a festival in Edisto one year. My thing when I travel to new places, if it's a festival, a fair, or a flea market, I'm in. I love flea market. And that's the marsh there behind the trailer. There's the sunset over that marsh. There's early morning right there. There's a pesky raccoon. I left the sliding glass window open on my truck one night. And this creature, he comes out of the marsh covered in sand and ticks. He runs right in the back of that slide-in window. Guy in there probably just did flip-flops for about an hour. I had some little cheese and peanut butter crackers in there. He got all of them and left me his calling card. And there is our campsite at night. That's it.
You didn't mention Mortimer.
Oh yeah, Mortimer, our dog. I should. We were dogless for about 10 years, and finally I've been looking for an English bulldog, and I found one on Craigslist over in South Carolina. Again, I had to talk Helen into it.
his
God,
75th
he-
birthday and I didn't have a thing for him, so.
A lot of people travel in RVs so they can take their pets, and so we have an English bulldog. I'm embarrassed I don't have a picture of him, but anyway, his name is Mortimer, and he works out great.
You
He
can't
rides in
pull
the
it up,
truck,
pull a picture of him.
so I don't think I've ever got a
Was
picture.
it a puppy? Was it a puppy?
No, he was about a year and a half old when I got him, and he took to it like a duck to water. He's still got a little puppy in him, and when you're confined to 200 square feet, he wants to play. You can't throw a ball very far in 200 square feet, so we got to kind of get that stuff down. But he's great.
Your photography is beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Joe, what's the electric vehicle gonna do?
I don't know that they could get one that would tow a trailer that size. And that you might could get one to tow that one like that first one we had, but because it only weighed about 4,000 pounds.
Ford had a pickup truck that get 300 miles. They hooked a camper to it, they only get 80 miles.
See, big.
Joe, y'all still have the map and Dora where you?
Yeah, we've got a map out there on the wall that's got pins and everywhere we've been, so take a look at it.
Do you have any more than just the last trailer?
No,
Okay, you get
I
rid
wish
of,
I'd kept that first one.
but you get rid of the
Yeah.
one before,
Yes.
so they don't accumulate.
To take to some of these places around Telco Plains and places I like to fish and stuff like that.
Helen, did you know that you had a bill?
Never in a thousand years did I think that I would like RV life, but
You're a trailblazer.
it is, it's just so relaxing. And it's you feel kind of selfish, but boy, you get to enjoy God's world and the people, think about, people that are in the campgrounds, they want to be here. They are happy to be here. So people are always friendly and nice and helpful, and so we've met a lot of interesting people along the way too. And it's just
Quick story about Whidbey Island, there was a guy in the trailer next to us that was a retired Navy cook. And he worked all day marinating Pin Cove mussels. And he came over and asked us if we wanted to join. We hadn't met him or anything, just come join us for dinner. And I looked at Helen and I said, I don't think I like mussels. I couldn't get enough. He had brined them all day long. They were delicious.
Mussels.
Mussels. Pin Cove mussels. Washington.
Yes.
Okay, folks, I'd love for anybody to come see our trailer that would like to do it, and we'll be out there, and thanks for coming. Thanks for your time.